We'll
That
add
is the question.
We'll add that in post.
What about a fruitcake?
No fruitcake. Fuck fruitcake.
Okay. Damn.
Said fruitcake ain't shit but hoes and tricks.
Well, welcome to Phoenix Wright.
Eggnog.
Eggnog's okay.
Okay.
Phoenix Wright, guys. Hi, how's it going? What's poppin'? It's your boy back at it again. I'm right here with the Bloodstained TFUAHStrikes, dude. We're here for our day in court to go put some individuals in jail, or at least attempt to, for doing some bad misdeeds.
Yeah. That's what we're doing today.
And then we're gonna get told shit by Edgeworth because they hate us because they ain't us.
He hates us because he can't get over his gay angst.
Bruh.
I'll have you know. Actually, I'll tell you later.
Oof, okay.
Yeah, foreshadowing.
Also, welcome to I Have a New Webcam.
Oh, that is nice.
Yeah. Better than it was before. You can see more of my gross skin.
Stop that. Oh, I gotta like.
Well, okay, I only say gross skin because I had a shit ton of makeup on and I just cleaned it off, so it's a little irritated right now.
Where's your stream at? I gotta check this out.
That's no
Bro, why is your stream at 160p? Hold on. 576. Oh shit, it's a Piplup, dude.
Yeah, I have a Piplup. I've been having a plushie while we're playing Phoenix Wright. It's a different one. This is the one from Build-A-Bear, because I'm a fucking nerd.
You called me a weeb? What the fuck?
Oh, yeah. Me labeling you a weeb does not mean I am not also a weeb.
I'm just saying. Literally, it's calling the kettle black.
Yeah.
Alright. Phoenix Wright, let's get into it.
Alright.
Let's fucking jump into it.
February 24th, 9:41 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2. So, what do you think, Mr. Wright?
I think the prosecution's as confused as we are. After all,
The victim was murdered in 2 different places at the same time, and a different suspect was arrested at each of the crime scenes. Lana! Good morning, Mr. Wright. I apologize for yesterday. I was indisposed.
I hope they didn't hold you too long for questioning.
We just finished, actually. I'm used to all-nighters, though.
Whoa.
Oof. Yeah, she is. So, how'd it go? It's as Mr. Wright suspects. The police are clueless. I figured as much, so I struck a plea bargain. A plea bargain? What do you mean by that? We agreed that if I told them the truth behind this simultaneous murder, they wouldn't seek capital punishment. That's what I mean, Emma. But Lana, don't tell me you... Much to my regret, I'm as much in the dark about this as they are.
Miss Guy.
Hmm?
We discovered traces left by a certain person in that police department's evidence room. They belong to an officer, Jake Marshall.
What kind of trace evidence?
It says you found Officer Marshall's traces? Question mark?
Oh! Yo! That sounds kind of dirty.
Bloodstained fingerprints, to be exact.
Huh.
That's the trump card I have up my sleeve today. You do understand what this means, don't you?
In order to defend my sister, you're going to accuse Mr. Marshall?
We have to play the cards we've been dealt. Isn't that right, Miss Sky?
Do what you have to do, Mr. Wright.
Fucking shift the blame to everybody else, dude.
Yep, that's
Even
how we do court.
Even the judge is guilty, dude.
February 24th, 10 a.m., District Court to courtroom number 9.
Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. The defense is ready, Your Honor.
Prosecution is home.
Hmm? I'm afraid you'll have to clarify.
It takes 30 minutes by car to reach the police department from the prosecutor's office. Yet the victim, Bruce Goodman, was slain at both places at the same time.
But that's not physically possible, is it? What's more, I hear the victims from the evidence room just disappeared.
Yes, and the body eventually reappeared in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car.
Wow, this is one messed up trial.
One of my duties as prosecutor is to present impartial evidence. Today I will present evidence relating to the murder at the police department. In so doing, I believe the way in which we should proceed will reveal itself.
Now that's what sets Mr. Edgeworth apart. He sounds so on top of things, even though he doesn't know what's going on himself.
And that's supposed to be an admirable trait?
Like it?
Hold on, let me fix my audio real quick. It's a little off.
How dare your audio be off?
There you go, 92. 92 is fine. Alright. Very well, let the trial resume. On the day of the crime, what exactly transpired at the police department? Mr. Edwards, you may call your first witness of the day to the stand.
For its first witness, the prosecution calls the suspect of the murder that occurred at the police department.
The suspect? You mean the so-called murderer? Oh, I remember now. It just hit me. Oh boy. Bruh.
Bruh!
Will the witness please state his name and occupation?
Yes, sir. I am Officer Mike Meekin, sir. Look at me. My occupation is, that would be murderer, sir.
So you're telling us you're a professional killer?
It was me, sir. I'm the one who did it. I'll never kill anyone again, sir. You've got to believe me, sir.
Actually, we'd like to hear from you. What is...
Sir, I want you to call part of the younger generation, sir. A person whose actions adults can't possibly comprehend.
Please, Mr. Edwards, sir, help me, sir.
Officer Meekins,
Yes, sir.
give us your report of the crime. Consider that an order.
Yes, sir. As you wish. After all, I am part of the generation that must be told what to do, sir.
Oh my god! You can't fault him for a lack of enthusiasm.
He's a millennial.
Bruh!
I prefer Gen Z. Although it's not my normal duty, I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. I spotted a suspicious man on the security screen and rushed into the room. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. I fought for my life. Then I did it. After that, I passed out until another officer smacked me awake.
I'm the murdering boy. I'm the one who murders.
I like how he sounds like a high-pitched Shaggy. So the victim, Detective Goodman, attacked you?
Do unto others before they do unto you. That's the Meekins family motto, sir.
I see. Then you fainted and a colleague helped you regain consciousness.
Yes, sir. He knocked me upside the head, sir. Slapped me silly like a bitch.
Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination. What I need to hear is more info to work with, dude. That's a lot of bullshit in that testimony.
Well, you already know what we get to do.
Press everything?
Everything!
Alright, pressing the first statement.
Hold it! Oh, wait, I didn't flick my table this time. Mr. Meekins, you work in General Affairs Department, do you not?
Yes, sir. I am in charge of hiring new recruits, sir.
Yikes. Now this is a scary thought.
Evidence transferal was taking place on the day of the crime. Which meant many officers were given special tasks not ordinarily performed.
I was in charge of guarding the Blue Badger, sir.
Blue Badger?
Yes, sir. The lovely police mascot created by the chief of detectives, sir. I was so sure it wasn't broken during the transfer process. That was my sole mission for the day, sir.
Handprint. I see. Sounds like a very important mission.
The most important mission.
Our award ceremony finished that day. There were so many people running around. Then I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room.
Oh, so that's why you went to the evidence room.
Tell us, what did you see when you got there?
I saw the suspicious man on the security screen and rushed into the room.
Press.
Oh wait, hold it. It doesn't work, dude. The fucking audio, dude. There's no way. Hold it. No, it doesn't work. There it goes. Hold it. There, it worked. It worked. Okay, there's an audio function for this game that you can do on my.
Hold it!
In order to enter the evidence room, you need an ID card. Am I correct?
Precisely, sir. I have one right here around my neck.
So then, your ID number should be listed in here, right? 420 blaze it.
There it is. I found it. This one right here. This is the one right here.
Could you please read us the number?
Yes, sir. It's 498-9596. That's my number, sir.
I see, huh? But the number 4989596 is shown as being used twice.
Please explain, witness.
It's no real mystery, sir. The first time when I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. And the second time is when I went to go get him after everything settled down.
Okay. So it was during that second time when?
Yes, sir. That was when I spotted the man on the security screen.
Data added to ID card record.
I knew what I was trying to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked.
Hold it. So you were attacked. Can you please tell us exactly what happened to you?
It was a knife, sir. A knife.
Detective Goodman pulled a knife on you? What happened then?
Well, with me charging in on him on that, he looked as surprised as I was.
You weren't exactly the kind of person someone would want to run into.
That's what I reacted, sir. I swung my arms like an octopus, struggling to detain him.
I'm just imagining him like, I'm an octopus, and just like winging his arms all over the place, and then
You just flailing?
yeah, he's just flailing.
I brought the artillery. That's why I got this gash on my hand.
Maybe if you just kept your cool, your hand wouldn't be.
When I saw the blood trickling down my arm, I panicked. I grabbed the man by his collar. I fought for my life, then I did it!
Press.
Hold it. What exactly do you mean when you say you did it?
I know I don't look the type, but I'm really into kung fu films, sir.
Oh my god.
The man let his guard down for just an instant, so I snatched his knife from him.
Bruh, he's a weeb, dude.
Officer
You took
Meekins
his
is a weeb.
knife?
We're like Officer Weebkins.
Got him.
God damn it.
I performed a disarming maneuver. I'm Jackie Chan, motherfucker. I made sure to close my eyes like a man.
See, he must have been desperate.
The next thing I knew, his white coats were stretched in a sea of my blood, and then the next thing I knew,
Yes?
he punched me right in my face, sir. After that, I passed out until another officer smacked me awake.
Brace.
Hold it! About what time did you regain consciousness?
Oh, I'm supposed to know that. I was unconscious.
Oh, right.
According to the report from the officer that woke up the witness, it was about 5:30.
He hit me right in the head, too. I woke up crying tears of pain.
Oh.
That's nice, it's nice you recovered, that is.
Oh.
You're an asshole. When I came around, though, I made sure to finish my mission, sir.
Your mission.
Yes, sir. The Blue Badger, sir. I returned him to the entrance before things got out of hand. Unlike my cut one.
Oof.
Well, we can all rest easy now, at least. I believe we now have a firm, accurate picture of what happened.
Yes, Your Honor. Only one thing remains unclear. Was the man this officer murdered really the victim?
He's got a point. Yes, Officer Meekins?
With regards to that, sir. Take a look at this. It was sent to my jail cell. Chief Gant delivered it to me just this morning.
The chief?
Oof.
Delivered it? Why is that? A videotape?
Yes, sir. That's absolutely right, sir. A videotape, sir. It contains footage from the security camera in the evidence room.
Hey, this is a big brain moment.
Objection!
What? But I specifically asked if there was such a tape, and was told it had been mistakenly erased.
That's quite a mistake.
I just do what I'm told, sir. It's the only thing I'm really good at.
Aw.
Looks
Let it
like
go.
communication with the police department is as good as ever, as they say.
Oof.
Well then, let's have a look.
So before we watch this video, pay attention to so many things, because this is gonna be fun.
Oh,
Is it dubbed or
no.
subbed?
Okay. Shall we watch the
I
video?
guess so. I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Please stop using that word, murder, sir. It scares me.
Aw.
A video of a real murder. Just what are we getting ourselves into?
Ah.
Aww.
Demented Chow friend.
Oh, you fuck. Of course, it'd be too easy.
Yeah, I did say pay attention to everything.
What fell out of that locker? Ooh,
That was the glove.
no love.
Greedy Meekins!
Surprise, motherfucker! Ah!
Got him, hombre.
Yo.
Well, I believe we're all thinking the same thing. How can we deal with these unsettling feelings stirred within us?
Mine's still playing the video.
Mine finished quick, dude.
Okay, so... Look at Edward!
Like,
We're all thinking the same thing. How can we deal with these unsettling feelings? There we go.
what the hell was that wriggling piece of plywood?
Sir, that is the pride and joy of the entire criminal affairs department, sir. It's the Blue Badger, sir.
It's the Blue Badger.
Why am I not surprised this isn't going smoothly?
Security video added to the court record.
Yes, well, anyways. This tape seems to prove that the witness did indeed encounter, or someone, in the evidence room, and some sort of activity did take place.
Your Honor, instead of relying on clearly incomplete footage, the witness's testimony will suffice. Is that alright with you, Officer Meekins?
Yes, sir. As you wish, sir.
Aw, poor Meekins. Alright, new testimony.
This can't be clearly seen in the video. But there is no question that the other person was Detective Goodman, sir. I mean, he opened the locker, which required Detective Goodman's fingerprints to do. Ow! The lock reopened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir. So it must be him. No one else could have unlocked it.
What's this about a fingerprint?
Each detective has been given a locker equipped with the fingerprint-activated lock. These locks ensure that each locker can only be opened by the detective it belongs to.
Intriguing. That would mean the victim at the crime scene would have to have been Detective Goodman. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination. I don't know where this cross-examination will lead, but everything begins with contradictions. That's where I have to start.
So, this one, we don't have to press everything, but if we want to press everything, it's on y'all.
I'm vibing, dude.
You want to just press everything then, since we can?
If you want to, it's up to you.
Well, let's see. His face can't be clearly seen in the video, but there's no question the other person was Detective Goodman. He opened the locker, which required his fingerprint. The locker he opened is unquestionably his locker, so it must be him. No one else could have unlocked it.
If we want to know a statement that needs to be pressed, it would be the fifth one.
Hang
The
on.
last statement.
The last? No one else could have unlocked it. Okay, so press.
Hold it. However, the most important detail is not shown in this video. The man's face.
Sir, if I may say something, sir.
Please do. After all, you are the one being examined.
I don't understand why the man's face is so important in this case, sir. I mean, it was his hand that opened the fingerprint lock. And it was his hand that tried to thrust his knife into my body, sir.
Aw.
My untitled state can testify enough to this, sir.
Yes, you do have a point. The footage doesn't lie.
That is...
Like Edward trips.
Unless the defense can find a problem with it.
Mr. Wright, let's check the court record again.
Is there a problem with the security record?
Oh, there is without a doubt a problem.
I'll say there's always a problem.
Oh wait, hold on. There we go. Regarding the video contained on this tape, there is one thing in particular that seems rather strange. Strange. This contradiction leads to the possibility that the man may not be Detective Goodman. What? This video contains such contradiction?
Objection. Interesting. Your Honor, I have a proposal. Wright, will you marry me?
Mr. Edgeworth?
I propose we have the defense point out to us this alleged contradiction in the video.
He would want me to point it out, wouldn't he? Very well. Proposal accepted. I pronounce you man. Let's further
Yay!
inspect this piece of evidence.
Marry the Wrightworth.
I will now... Oh, sorry. I will now play the security tape. Mr. Wright, please show us the contradiction you speak of. I have to point out a problem in this video. This is the first time I've ever had to do that.
You can do it, Mr. Wright. It's set up so you can fast forward, rewind, or pause the video. Just take a good look and be sure to point out the right thing.
Oh, sorry.
You're good.
Please don't play it too many times. I can't stand watching this video.
How did this guy ever become a police officer, dude?
It's the cops!
Oh, yeah, you haven't seen my follow notification yet, have you?
Oh no, I need to... Hang on, let me go look at your stream. I'm excited.
I can do a test sound. You guys can hear it.
Yeah, let me pull it up. So for those of you who are not aware, I've started a Phoenix Wright watch party on my Discord server. It's playing an ad. So we watched a bunch of, like, a chunk of the first season last Saturday, and we're gonna continue watching it on this Saturday, I think. So, yeah. It's the cops! Okay, it's on your stream. Hit that button.
Alright. Here you go.
second, dick!
Hang on just 1 second.
Oh my god.
What the hell?
If that's not worthy of a follow, I don't know what to tell you.
Honestly, if I ever do get back to streaming, if I ever do get to stream, I think I definitely want It's the Cops to be my follower thing.
Yes, it's
That's
the
what press follow.
cops!
Like, it's the Cops!
I'll randomly be playing a game and it'll be like, objection! Look, wait just 1 second, dick. And I'll be like, huh? Oh shit, somebody followed.
I should probably update mine, because mine is like a bunch of Zelda sounds.
That's all up to you. I always have fun with my shit. I have a bunch of random shit, dude.
Alright.
Now then, Mr. Wright, please enlighten us. Where is the contradiction that indicates that the man may not be Detective Goodman?
I already see the problem in that.
Wait.
No, keep going. You're fine.
Fuck, how do I... There we go, that's the button. It's not the glove thing, is it? Like, that he faked it or something?
It's like... Well, if you rewind it back... Look at it. Okay, so you see his locker, right? And you see the light?
Yeah...
No, the light on his locker.
It's already open.
Yeah, so if you go all the way back to like the beginning...
Hang on.
So do I present that?
Boom.
Is it?
Well, if you look at all the other lights...
Oh, that light, okay.
Yeah, what?
He's like the light above.
So present that the locker was already open?
Yeah, the light.
Present the light.
Alright. Take that! The things that's strange about this video has got to be this. Officer Meekins.
Sir, do you mean, sir?
As I understand it, the locker apparatus works like this. When you grab the handle, a sensor reads your fingerprints. If the prints match registered data, the light turns on and the lock is released.
To my very limited experience, that's the way I understand it, sir.
If so, then something is seriously wrong with this picture.
I like how Edgeworth was disturbed by the badger too, by the way.
When the victim reaches for the handle to open the locker, let's rewind to a little earlier.
More of the blue badger.
I forgot the DS version of it goes a lot faster than the Switch one.
Here, notice the light. Watch this. It's already lit, bruh.
It's lit, fam!
My boy, it's already lit. Alright, you guys ready? Your pleasure forward. Your
Yeah,
video
we're ready.
ended. Okay.
Yeah, we're at precisely my point.
Precisely my point, Your Honor. The locker was already open before the victim actually grabbed the handle. Order! Order! What's the meaning of this? It's very simple, Your Honor. The locker wasn't locked on the day of the crime.
Objection. But the locker locks are controlled by an electronic system.
I can see you question that.
When a door is shut, a sensor is triggered, just like everyone in 2020, and the locker is automatically locked.
Oh, I know. It must have broken down. Of course, I'm not an expert in this.
That's not likely, Your Honor. The sensor would detect and report any malfunction.
Oh, well, it just goes to show novices should keep their mouth shut. Sure then, Mr. Wright, do you have any explanation? Me, Your Honor. Yes, why wasn't the locker locked? Me, Your Honor. Yes, well, you see, this isn't exactly my field. What do you think, Miss Scientific Investigator?
Huh? Oh, maybe something like jam the system sensor?
Something jammed the sensor. Say, there's something else that seems out of place in this video.
Yeah, I thought so too. There's gotta be another clue somewhere in this footage.
Very well, let's inspect the video once more to make Tifa annoyed. The locker wasn't locked. Mr. Wright, please point out the cause for this.
It's the glove, right?
Ding ding ding.
Like the glove jammed it open or something.
Mm-hmm.
So present the glove?
Yep, we're presenting the glove.
Take that.
Ew, it looks like a fucking phallic item on my screen.
What about Detective Broodman?
we
What
love
Detective Broodman's up to?
we love pixel dicks.
Take that! Please watch closely. This is the contradiction of the part I showed you earlier. Bruh, and then it proceeds to play the video again.
Yeah. Bruh!
See what I mean?
Bruh!
Watch this. Something white fell out of the locker.
Sir, it's been my experience that things fall out when doors are opened. I often fall out and roll. Something.
Objection. We can't be sure that the item in the locker was there to begin with. What do you mean? The sensor triggers a lock when the door is shut. What if something was inserted, say, between the sensor and the door? Inserted? That's a word I don't want to be hearing, dude.
I don't want to hear inserted from the judge. Insert face.
Especially if they're talking about white things, I don't want to fucking hear about being inserted, dude.
Oh no! The white thing wasn't in the locker.
Oh, come on.
You would want that, wouldn't you?
I don't know what that means! Stupid.
This white thing wasn't inside the locker. It was stuck between the door and the sensor.
I understand now, sir. It's just like my tie. 2 out of 3 times it gets stuck in the door when I get out of my patrol vehicle, sir. Instead of the door closing, my tie chokes me.
But the object would have been extremely thin to fit in the door.
Not only that, it would also have to block electrical current. It would need to be an insulator.
It's an insulator about the crime scene. There just might have been something that fits the description. I don't know, it's
Look,
kind of...
sir, by insulator, you don't mean...
I think I finally got this figured out. Very well. Will the defense please present the relevant evidence? What was this insulator that was stuck in the locker door? Dude, I feel bad. They keep fucking cutting off Meekins.
Poor Meekins. Yeah, it's the glove.
No glove, no love. Let's go.
Let's
Take
go.
that. I found this near the locker, a thin rubber glove. But we can't be sure that was in the victim's locker. It has a tag that says SL9 incident. The
Exclamation
video
point.
seems to depict the victim opening the locker. But that isn't the case. The lit lamp attached to this On the day of the crime, you and I could have opened the locker. Is that not so, Officer Meekins?
It would have been so, sir!
Oh, why is he choking himself?
That's S&M, dude. I mean SMH, sorry.
SMH is shaking your head.
Order. So are we to believe then that the victim whom this witness stabbed in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman?
Objection. Do not be misled, Your Honor.
What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
The defense has merely demonstrated that possibility and nothing more. The victim in the video was indeed Bruce Goodman. The prosecution will offer one more testimony to prove this.
What?
Officer Meekins, please testify about this.
Me, sir? I'm not sure what you're referring to, sir. Sir, of course, sir.
Is this a joke? Very well, begin your testimony.
Mystery Man 2.
Return the
Detective
mystery
Goodman,
man.
sir.
Can you say your line again?
What's one of the things that proves the man was Detective Goodman, sir? To enter the evidence room, one must use their ID card. When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. At the time of the crime, the detective had used his card.
An ID card record, I see.
The ID card record right here, Your Honor. The ID used at 514 is that of the victim.
Just before the crime, Yes, without a doubt, this is the victim's ID. However, one thing does strike me as unusual. Several hundred cases should have been due for transferals. Why are there so few people using this room?
This particular evidence room is only used for storing certain special cases.
Special cases?
Extremely violent cases involving police staff.
Just hearing that makes my hair stand on end.
Me too, although it doesn't make much of a difference.
There were only a few cases up for transferal there, and most were cleared up by noon.
Right, I see. Now let us move on to the cross-examination.
Well, we already have evidence to contradict his statements.
Wait.
On his...
Wait, what?
Oh, no. Keep going.
I'm lost because I have a bit of the dumb.
Remember, you can only get through there by your ID. But if we remember,
The guest card?
Goodman didn't have his ID on him.
Oh, so we say, hey, this is his ID?
Well, remember, what did he need? If you did, it's something Chief Gant said when we were last in. When you don't have your ID and you lose it, what do you need to use to get it?
You use the lost item form.
Yep, and you're gonna use that on either his second, third, or fourth statement.
Okay, so I guess I'll do the second statement because I'm already there.
Probably save first in case.
Okay. Save
Never
that
hurt save and nay.
Save that shit. Okay, present you with lost item thing.
Objection!
That was the check button. Present. There we go.
Wait, one moment, Officer Meekins.
I'm not good at waiting, sir.
What are you good at?
I don't know!
I have the victim's ID card right here. I found it at the scene of the crime. That make sense? When I say crime scene, I'm not referring to the evidence room at the police department. I mean the other crime scene. The underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. Your Honor, I have one more piece of evidence to present. It's a very important clue regarding the victim's ID card. A lost item report, it's only half completed. But it shows that Detective Goodman had lost something on the day of the crime. Something important enough to fill out this report.
Let me guess. You believe this something to be his ID card, right?
I can't say for sure, but there is a high probability. On the day of the crime, Detective Goodman was not carrying his card. Order. So now, what does this all mean? It can only mean one thing. It doesn't require much thought for Ed. The man Officer Meekins encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman, but rather the man who stole his ID card.
Robble.
Order. Does the prosecution have a response?
One thing to say to the defense.
Hmm?
Bravo, Mr. Wright.
Bravo.
Allow me to summarize the defense's argument. At 5:15 on the day of the murder of the crime, the man in the evidence room Officer Meekins encountered was not Detective Goodman. There are two grounds to support this. First, the locker in the evidence room was already unlocked. Second, the victims lost his ID card. Am I correct so far, Mr. Wright?
Yes. What's he up to?
My husband's.
That being the case, we must inevitably arrive at a single conclusion. If the victim in this video is a fake, then the murder in the evidence room is also fake. In other words, the security camera does not show the instant of the murder.
That is, well, I guess that's right. We take those.
Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Only moments ago you seemed content to be pointing your finger around.
Like you're doing just now.
This isn't good.
Well, it seems you finally realized exactly what you've gone to such lengths to prove.
Explain yourself, Mr. Edgeworth.
The defense has already done the explaining for me. The victim in this video is a fake, which means the murder did not take place at the police department at 5:15 on the day of the crime. So the real crime could only take place at one location, the underground parking lot. At the prosecutor's office, the murderer being Miss Lana Skye, the defendant. The evidence is compelling. A trustworthy witness. Observe the moment the defendant used the murder weapon.
Oof.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun 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 dun.
I knew that testimony was way too shabby. It was all a trap from the beginning.
It's a trap.
The activity in the evidence room still leaves many questions unanswered. Who exactly was the victim Officer Meekins encountered? And where did this person disappear to? However, this trial's purpose is to only examine the murder of Detective Goodman.
So, Your Honor.
Mr. Wright, you have to do something or else Lana...
What do I do? How am I supposed to get myself out of this mess?
I mean, it's obvious.
Object. Always object.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Objection.
Objection! One moment, Your Honor.
What now, Mr. Wright? Don't tell me you're objecting to what you've just proven.
Of course not. But I almost walked right into the prosecution's trap.
What are you talking about?
This cross-examination has proven one thing and one thing only. You bitch. The security video did not show the actual murder.
Because this is a rated E game. You can't show murder.
That's not true.
Only implied murder.
It's also not true. They show blood in the first scene.
That's true.
However, it cannot be said that it is unrelated to the murder in the parking lot.
Video's still slow.
Okay, it cannot be. Okay, there we go. Now we're caught up.
Specifically, large amounts of blood traces were found in the evidence room. The defense demands further examination into the truth of the matter. Mr. Edgeworth,
Yes, Your Honor.
if this court were to examine this further, other witnesses may be necessary. Is the prosecution prepared?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. The prosecution considered the incident at the police department to be unrelated. We have not prepared any other witnesses for this incident.
This just might be my chance. It's time to call a certain Texas Ranger to the stand.
Lone Star. Mr. Wright, do you mean?
Your Honor, the defense would like to request a specific witness. Oh? And whom do you have in mind? Someone we have a reason to believe knows the truth. The truth behind the activities that took place in the evidence room.
The prosecution requests to hear this person's name before deciding whether or not to comply.
Very well then, Mr. Wright. This person whom you would have testify, what is his or her name?
Marshall?
Take that! Officer Jake Marshall.
Oh, I was hoping for Bruce Goodman.
Bring him
Why
back from the
him?
dead, have Mia come back and everything.
We can call Maya.
There you go.
Well, I said, why him?
Can't let him know everything just yet. He's in charge of the evidence room. I feel we should hear what he has to say.
The prosecution agrees to the defense's request. Since he was responsible for guarding the room, we should hear his testimony. Fortunately, he works in the police department. We shouldn't need longer than 20 minutes to prepare.
Very well. The court will take a 30-minute recess while the witness is subpoenaed. Will the prosecution please prepare the witness during the time?
We will, Your Honor.
Court's in recess.
February 24th, 11:32 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2. There's no stopping you, is there, Mr. Wright?
Huh? What do you mean?
You called for Jake Marshall. It seems you figured everything out.
I haven't figured out anything out, actually, but okay.
Lana, you're the one who knows everything. Emma, you always know everything. Why don't you just tell us? Mr. Wright is trying his hardest to protect you. I don't recall ever asking for his protection. How can he be so cold? Don't you trust us? Don't you trust me?
Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals.
It's the cops!
Hey, it's the cops. There you go.
Oh, I should have done that. Damn it.
Everyone's like,
Oh, yes, I am. I'll come back later.
Oh, he was so sad!
Oh, Detective Gumshoe, what is it?
You've got a lot of nerve, pal, making a detective run all around while on duty.
And to top it off, you call me off here. I've seen happier people at funerals.
Sorry, Detective.
You better be, pal. Hey! 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 I didn't see you there, Chief Prosecutor Sky.
That's okay, so have you brought what I asked?
Oh! You mean this, right?
My apologies, Detective. Due to my present circumstances, I was forced to use Mr. Wright's name when making my request.
My name?
Forgery.
How dare she?
Never in a million years would I thought it was you who asked me. Could I bother you to bring me the SL9 incident files? I'll need them by noon. Talk about crazy.
The SL9 incident?
It's the new DL6. But Lana, that's... I thought Mr. Wright might need them, so I had them brought here. Here, you might do well to read them.
I can't believe you, the chief prosecutor, were a witness in that case.
Miss Sky was a witness?
SL9 incident files received from Lana Sky. Files for the Joe Dark killing solved 2 years ago.
Hey, you don't want anything to do with serial murderers. Oh, what? Now now that I brought you your stuff, you're just gonna ignore me?
Emma, but why? Why is your name in here?
What? My name's in there? I don't know, unless... No, it couldn't be. Lana, this SL9 incident, is that... That's the classification number the police filed it under. 2 years ago, the rest of the world knew it as the Joe Dark killings. The Joe Dark... No, Lana! That's over with! No!
Emma, wait! She ran away.
You know what? I just remembered. I gotta be somewhere. Sorry, pal, but I'm out of here.
Dick Gumshoe away!
Wait,
It's
hold
the
up,
guy.
Dick! Jake Marshall, Angel Star, Damon Gett, Miles Edgeworth. Not to mention Lana and Emma. Everyone involved in this case connected to those killings 2 years ago. This can't be just a coincidence.
Knowing you just might be able to figure it out.
Shall we look at the SL9 file?
Sure. Let's look at this shit. Alright. Incident closed. Perpetrator Joe Dark. Serial murder. Sentence death. Edward Jones, Edith Kirby, Jeb Bates, Jason Knight, Rachel Moss, and Neil Marshall were all victims.
Neil Marshall.
Yeah, there's a different Marshall.
Head prosecutor Miles Edgeworth, witnesses Lana, Emma Sky, and
Investigation Task Force. Executive investigators Damon Gant, Lana Sky. Head investigator Bruce Goodman. Investigators Jake Marshall and Angel Star. Interesting. Alright. Time to get back to the trial, Mr. Wright. Best of luck.
better take a good look at this file.
Take a look at this photograph. To be continued.
Now it's time to meet with our favorite cowboy.
Alright. We'll do the rest of the trial and then I'm gonna go to bed.
Yeah. This is all we'll pretty much have to do.
Yeah. February 24th, 12:14 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 9.
The court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. Emma didn't come back.
Allow me to call the next witness to the stand. The officer in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime.
Ayy.
Witness, please state your name and occupation.
Me, partner? Oh, I'm just a man. Same as you, wandering the trials of civilization.
occasionally helping the elderly cross intersections when needed. Yes, we get it.
Oh, I know. You're a patrolman. As for my name, if you listen hard enough, you can hear the howling winds calling it out.
To be exact, it's Jake Marshall, Your Honor.
He's just done.
Howling winds? I've never heard Edward describe that way before.
Now, Mr. Marshall, let me ask you something. You were in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime took place. Is this correct?
According to them papers, partner. What do you mean? A desperado soul's just as boundless as the desert sands. No paper can sum it up. Maybe it's just best we get on with this quickly.
Good.
Please share with us your testimony of the day of the crime. In English.
Witness testimony, day of the crime.
My job was to keep me a weary eye on that bone orchard. They said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. Besides, your room's protected by 2 security systems anyway. If I remember right, I was at the street side saloon at the time it went down. I'm just an innocent traveling man, so if you're out of ammo, it's time I hit the old trusted trail.
What the fuck?
I can't say I particularly care for your attitude. I can't say I particularly care for your beard, but you just don't see me complaining. Wait a minute. What do you mean by 2 security systems? I mean the security cameras and the ID card reader. I reckon every cowpoke like you know about those. Yes, well...
Sorry.
What about the finger...
Well, I keep clicking on things stupidly. Okay. Sorry.
You trying to present a contradiction of the badge?
No, I'm using the Joy-Cons today because I'm lazy. And I hit the button.
It's funny. Okay.
Yes,
Anyway.
well, what about the fingerprint activated locks inside the evidence room? Fingerprints activated locks? What kind of newfangled doohickey are those? He's not being very helpful.
He's not that good with machines or with following orders.
Everyone's got their weaknesses now, don't they, Mr. Prosecutor? This one seems like trouble. Okay, Mr. Wright, he's all yours.
Shit.
You already found the contradiction, which is funny.
My job was to keep a wary eye on that bone orchard. Oh, I already read this, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, you guys pick. I'm vibing, dude.
Well, remember who's when we last played, we found some fingerprints, right? We found his fingerprints.
So present it on, he was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that's not his style.
You know, I think you would do it on the if you're out of ammo.
Alright, so presenting him with his fingerprints.
Marshall's fingerprints.
Objection.
Oh, sorry. Objection. Thank you. Officer Marshall, doesn't it strike you as odd? That is you being called in to testify like this, right?
Ooh.
After all, you weren't in the security room at the time of the crime. And yet you dragged me all the way down here. Explain yourself, partner. It's quite simple. You left a large trail behind at the scene. Or to be exact, a handprint. Listen real good here, partner. Like I said, I'm the caretaker of that crypt. I pay my respects, that is, make my rounds about once a month. It's only natural my fingerprints will be in there. Objection!
Oh, I thought that was me.
I only wish it were, officer.
Bam.
But you see, your fingerprints are covered in blood. Witness, what's the meaning of this? Your bloodstained fingerprints were at the crime scene. The blood was wiped away, however. A luminol test clearly revealed this. Well, Officer Marshall? A shame, Mr. Mayor. There ain't a person in this room with a head on his shoulders.
That includes you, bitch.
I take it you have an explanation then, Officer Marshall. About the bloodstained fingerprints.
Very well, you may begin your testimony about your fingerprints found at the scene of the crime.
Okay. Bloodstained fingerprints.
Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in that evidence room. One of them just happened to be at the same place as the bloodstained handprint. The murderer touched that locker where my fingerprints was by chance. The bloodstain and the fingerprints are completely unrelated. Or didn't you know that the murderer was wearing gloves? See? I had nothing to do with it. The witness's explanation appears valid. Although, there's room for doubt. Life wouldn't be fun without any doubt, partner. The defense may cross-examine the witness. This guy is hiding something, I can feel it. Now's my chance to prove it.
Okay, let me read this shit again. It's only natural for my fingerprints to be in the evidence room. One of them happened to be the same place as the bloodstained handprint. The murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance. The fingerprint and the bloodstain are completely unrelated, or didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves?
I would press that first statement.
Yeah, this sounds like bullshit. Pressing.
Which one?
First statement.
The very first statement.
Holds it. That's because you, how did you put it, pay your respects once a month? Yeah, that's right. That and one more thing. That locker happens to be mine. What? What do you mean? I mean what I said. That's the locker I used when I was a detective, the locker I still use. All that's in there now, that was a heap of broken dreams. I see.
Here lies Jake Marshall's hopes and dreams.
It'd be strange if my prints weren't all over that locker there. Apparently his fingerprints data was never changed.
Oh, see,
He
mine
must have been
says,
using...
mine says never removed from that locker's programming.
He must have been using the fingerprint lock without even knowing it.
Marshall's fingerprints updated in the court record.
I'm also concerned about the wearing gloves part.
Yeah, like what? Pressing that.
Hold it! How do you know that? I may be a loner, but I still do my job. I keep up on the reports.
There was a bloodstain at the scene, though thought to be left by the murderer.
That's right. It was found in Detective Gumshoe's locker.
However, no fingerprints were detected on that handprint.
Oh yeah, I think I tried that too. So that would mean the murderer wearing gloves had been to place his hand on top of Officer Marshall's fingerprints. That's the only logical conclusion. Are you starting to get the picture now, partner? The picture. The seal of blood in the desert is just food for the buzzard. There's only one reality, and that's this. The security tape. As long as my trial isn't there, you can see otherwise. You can't say otherwise. This isn't getting us anywhere, Mr. Wright. Please consider carefully where you're going with this cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Now then, continue your testimony, Officer Marshall.
Rest that?
The too bad for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold it. What do you mean by that? You want to tie me down to this crime, isn't that right, partner? If so, the video is the only direct evidence you have. Objection! But that video is next to useless unless it's full of blind spots. Blind spots? Places you can't see. The camera's panning back and forth, the floor isn't shown. If someone was familiar with the camera's position, he could leave the room without being caught on tape.
Ooh.
Objection! We don't have time for your speculations, Mr. Wright.
Well, Mr. Wright, if you can show us evidence in the video that indicates Officer Marshall was present, please do so now.
Oh, we got evidence, alright.
Oh, okay, I guess we have evidence.
Bop. Very well. Allow me to point out your mistake, Officer Marshall.
Tread carefully, Mr. Wright, or you might wind up being the one making the mistake.
Now then, let's have another look at that video. Show us this incriminating evidence of the witness, Officer Jake Marshall.
Alright,
Well, my only suggestion is focus on Marshall's locker.
Wait. Oh! Shit! That's why there's the— oh, fuck! Okay. Right? Am I think— because now there's— the cloth wasn't there before, but it's there now.
Did you see?
Huh?
Okay. Fucking— so before, the cloth wasn't in his locker. But after the stab happened, there's now the cloth in his locker, so he was pretending to be Goodman.
Ooh.
So
Look at you with those brain powers.
So I'm gonna present the cloth on the locker.
Okay.
Alright.
Present,
Take that.
bitch.
Bringing our attention back to the security camera is a mistake, I'm afraid. You soon not forget, Officer Marshall. These days are short in Texas, and so are our tempers. Could you sum up what you have to say in 8 words or less, man? Very well. You can clearly be seen in this video.
1, 2. You can clearly be seen in this video. 8 words! Hey, look at you go!
Exactly 8 words, not bad, partner. The key lies in a certain locker shown in the video. See this locker that has a white cloth sticking out? This is the witness's locker. Now then, let's rewind the video a bit.
Badger, 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 badger.
Like the indent in the wall they added to just because.
Badger, 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 badger.
Oh, the white cloth is gone. What's the meaning of this, Officer Marshall? When the crime took place, the white cloth wasn't there. Then, it suddenly appeared. There's only one explanation. Officer Marshall, you were in the evidence room at the time of the crime. What's more, you opened your locker when the camera was turned away. Order! Order! It would seem that this only holds your horses. Sorry, partner, but you got the wrong man. So what if my locker was open? That doesn't mean I'm the one who opened it.
It literally does!
The murderer needed to hide something, so he opened the locker, stuck it in. It's not my fault he happened to choose mine. Was everyone staring at me like I'm a wanted man?
They're fucking fingerprint lockers.
This guy isn't just plain dumb. He really doesn't know. I hate to rain on your parade. But you're the only person who could open that particular locker. Oh yeah, I call your bluff, mate. You say I opened that locker, now prove it. Hmm?
Wait.
Oh, I'm just summing.
Oh, evidence locker. That's literally evidence.
Take that. A fingerprint sensor. We talked about this earlier today. The locker can only be opened by detectives they belong to. What kind of crazy talk was this? Well, Detective Gumshoe did mention something about this.
It's
In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There's even some people in the force that don't know about the fingerprints. Oh, wait, that's you. I'm so sorry. I fucking was reading it constantly, dude. I'm sorry. I'm tired.
I mean, if you wanted to be Detective Gumshoe, all you have to do is just ask. Like, goddamn.
He wants to be the
pal.
cops.
It's the cops!
I'm sorry, that's like the best line in the fucking dub.
It really is. There are even some people on the force that don't know about the fingerprint locks. Locks.
I'm sorry.
You are forgiven.
So, Sheriff, what do you have to say in 8 words or less?
Oof. Oh, he's eating his jerky!
I only got one word for you, partner. No! Order! Order! Witness, explain yourself. This is a joke. It's the worst I've ever heard. I assure you this is no joke, Officer Marshall. Now then, please tell us what you were doing in the evidence room at the time of the crime. Olay, please answer the question.
Away?
What is he now, a bullfighter? That's alright, Officer Marshall. I believe we can figure the rest of this out here. We can? Have a look at these floor plans. There's no place for someone to hide in the evidence room. Yet, Officer Meekins didn't see Officer Marshall. If that's so, then where was the witness?
It seems Mr. Wright has an answer.
That's right, the only possible conclusion. Well then, let's hear it. Where was Officer Marshall at the time of the crime?
It's pretty obvious.
Like, in between the lockers? Like, what?
Nope.
In the corner?
You see a K, a V, and the entire evidence room. If Meekins was the killer, who was the victim?
Marshall?
Hmm?
Yeah?
I mean,
Is it that obvious?
I mean, it's not Goodman.
So, he's the V.
He is the V.
Okay, it just seems obvious. I'm like, what?
Too obvious, you meant.
Yeah.
Take that. Officer Marshall is standing right here. There, but that's where the victim, Detective Goodman, was. Correct. Unless the man wasn't Detective Goodman. I believe the victim in the video is Officer Marshall. It was you dressed up like Detective Goodman.
Objection. But that's preposterous. Officer Meekins witnessed a detective at the crime scene. Once he saw the man's face, he'd know for sure.
But Meekins had never met him.
Objection. May I point out, though, that Officer Meekins did not know Detective Goodman. He also testified about the man's reaction when confronted.
Man, to the evidence room, I asked him to show his card, sir. Sir.
Yes. And how did Detective Goodman respond?
Me, Six, me.
I'm Mr. Meeksix, look at me!
Something about Officer's story puzzles me. If the man had his ID card, why didn't he just show it? Yes, he would have needed it to enter the evidence room, so he must have been carrying it. The answer is simple. He couldn't show it.
It wasn't his face.
As you can see, Detective Goodman's picture is on the ID card. Oh, I get it. If he showed that, his cover would have been blown. Officer Meekins would have realized the man wasn't Detective Goodman. Do you have anything to say to this, Officer Marshall?
Eat your jerky, boy.
You got quite the imagination, partner. We got a term for that. It's called circumstantial evidence. Circumstantial evidence? He's still denying it. You're gonna have to do better than that to break a detective. Unless you have hard evidence proving I dressed up as the victim. I can't say I particularly care for your uncooperative disposition. I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complain. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any evidence proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that Officer Marshall dressed up as the victim? Well, my kitty, I don't have anything like that. I can see the fear in your eyes, partner. Seems you're the one who couldn't take the desert heat.
Oh, fuck off!
This can't be happening. It's so obvious he's the one. What can I do?
It looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed.
Well, that's why you need to show it. You need to give him the experience, Edgeworth.
I don't want Edgeworth's experience, though. Regardless of who he's addressing.
I'll pass on to you what someone told me when I was just starting out. When you've run into a wall with no place to go, return to the basics.
The basics. For me, that would be what Mia used to tell me.
Phoenix, try thinking outside of the box.
I shouldn't look for proof that Officer Marshall was in disguise. But rather, I should look for evidence that came about because he was in disguise.
Why do you think this locker was opened in the first place?
What do you mean?
There is no reason for Officer Marshall to open his locker at the time of the crime. Yet he did, despite the chance it might be discovered later as it has been.
Which means he didn't originally plan to open his locker. According to the defense's argument, Officer Drake Marshall dressed up as Detective Goodman at the time of the crime. Then after the crime was committed, he opened his locker for some unknown reason.
Why would he?
Excuse me.
The fact that a white cloth is sticking out of the locker seems to indicate that he opened it in order to put the cloth inside.
Oh, what exactly do you think is this piece of cloth? Bruh. I know what it is. This is what I was talking about earlier, dude. Last time we played. I fucking knew it. Sorry.
You're
Perhaps.
Fine. This is great.
Perhaps the video is the key to all our unanswered questions. I don't have any evidence, so the video's only my shot. Wait, is my only shot. Very well. Let's take yet another look at the security tape. I don't know why I keep doing that, dude. After committing the crime to the witness, open the locker and put away the white cloth. Please show us why the witness needed to open his locker. Alright, where's the fucking boss, dude?
Why did the man have to open his locker? It's a mystery for all to know, cause we don't know why he had to do it.
Oh, because it got all bloody?
A little bit of the bloody?
Huh?
A little bit of the bloody?
Yeah, is it because he got bloody?
I mean, I wouldn't want to walk out with blood on my trench coat.
So, do I present the blood on the trench coat?
I mean, you can't present blood on the dance floor, so yes.
I
Bam!
don't like that you said that. Hold on, give me a moment. I have to like... There it is. Take that! For some reason, you disguised yourself as Detective Goodman and entered the evidence room. I don't know for what reason was, yet. However, something unexpected happened. Officer Meekin barged in on you. When asked to show your ID, you pulled out a knife on him, real quick. However, Officer Meekins panicked, and the white coat you were wearing was soiled with blood. A bloody white coat. You couldn't just walk out like that. So you hid the code in your locker. Not bad, huh, partner?
This man. I wanted to like the man, but I do not like the man anymore.
Now then, Officer Marshall, are you ready to tell us the truth? The whole truth, nothing but the truth. Looks like I underestimated y'all. I hope you're happy now, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago,
Happy.
He's never happy.
if you were only as persistent then as you are now today, we all wouldn't have to be here now, would we?
I'm gonna turn off my fish tank.
Officer Marshall, tell the court what you did. All of it. All right. I'll wait as the little lady turns off her fish tank.
Yeah, it's off.
It seems the time has come.
Marshall's confession.
I had to do it that day. I couldn't just stand by and let it die. I stole a detective ID and dressed like him. I planned to take out the evidence. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out. And managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on the camera. There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15. So the supposed victim was really you.
But there's one thing I still don't understand. Traces of a large quantity of blood were found on the floor of the evidence room. If no one was murdered, then how could that be?
Officer Meekins managed to cut his hand. My guess is he's the donor. It looked like too much blood for that.
Guess what we get to do?
Press era thing.
Yup!
Okay, pressing the first statement.
Hold it. When you say it, you mean. Do you even have to ask, partner? The SL9 incident.
2 years have passed since that case was closed. It was going to completely end with the transferal that day.
Not if I had anything to do with it. That incident's not over, partner. But what you did hope to accomplish, what did you hope to accomplish by sneaking into the evidence room? When a case is closed, only the detective who was in charge of it can look through the evidence. I wanted to have a look at it myself once more. One more time, no matter what the cost. I don't care what anyone says, partner. That case is mine. Mine alone. But Officer Marshall wasn't in charge of that case. Investigation. Why does he care so much about it? That one day, my last chance. That's why I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I plan to take out the evidence, partner.
Press.
Hold it! Why did he disguise himself as Detective Goodman? If I didn't make it look like Goodman was carrying out the evidence transfers, I'd be arrested for stealing evidence, which wouldn't get me anywhere, partner.
So you did it to fool the security camera.
And the detective's ID card. I stole that that morning of the incident. So that was really why Goodman started filing out the lost item report. I returned his ID card. I left it on the floor in the prosecutor's office parking lot. The ID card I found was left there by Officer Marshall.
So, essentially, you managed to succeed despite your lack of foresight.
What do you mean, partner?
I mean, the fingerprint activated lock, of course. No matter how well you disguise yourself, you can't change your fingerprints. You can't Yana Yogi this shit. Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't have been able to open that locker yourself.
So it opened because a rubber glove was stuck in the door by chance. Then Detective Goodman must have opened the locker before Officer Marshall.
Mine says, but he could because a rubber glove just happened to get stuck in the door. So that's interesting.
I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out. Hold it! You pulled a knife on Officer Meekins and tried to drive him off. Let's just say I was a little surprised. I only planned on being in the evidence room for no more than 5 minutes, partner. I didn't think anyone would actually come in during that short time.
It should have been 3 minutes.
Officer Meekins certainly is a 1 in a million type person, mistaking a detective for an intruder and demanding to show his ID.
I'll have to think a little more about his raise this year.
Ooh.
Aww.
When did Edwards get so much influence? God damn. Anyways, he threw himself at me and I ended up cutting him slightly. I'm sorry it turned out that way, partner, with me knocking him out and everything. By the way, what happened to your knife? Oh, you mean this one? I don't even know the sign.
Bruh.
So what happened next? I managed to escape. I knew which areas I couldn't be caught on camera.
Chris.
Hold it! So you did your research beforehand. Those who go in the desert unprepared don't live long, partner. I didn't think it'd make much of a difference, though. The security tape is erased every 6 hours. If all had gone as planned, no footage would have been left.
However, you bloodied your coat in your struggle with Officer Meekins.
If someone was in the security room when I came out, the jig would have been up regardless. I opened my locker and stashed it in there. What was Officer Meekins doing during that time? What else? He was sleeping like a baby. So what you're saying is on that day, there wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15.
Chris.
Hold it! But the blood found at the scene certainly indicates the crime took place. What are you, blind? The victim shown on that tape is me, and I'm not dead yet, partner.
So you stole the evidence from the locker.
Actually, no, I didn't.
Nani the fuck, why not?
When I opened the locker, the evidence was already gone. What? Mr. Edwards, where's that evidence?
It's still missing, Your Honor.
Ooh.
Detective Goodman's locker was already emptied. Someone else stole the evidence. Officer Marshall, may I ask you just one thing? Far away, partner, it's a free country.
Is it?
Just remember, I'm not going to wear a mask as my God-given right. I'm also free to decide whether or not they need to answer.
God damn it.
Why did you do this? Stealing a detective's ID, injuring a police officer, this is no small offense.
Moreover, you're an officer yourself. This will have serious consequences. It can't just be forgiven with a simple cut in salary.
Not that salary cuts are even ever a valid situation.
Thank you.
pal.
Like I said, this isn't your case. This one's mine. And I'll do anything it takes to get answers I'm satisfied with. The witness has an unusual amount of zeal. Let's hear more.
Ah.
I can't just forget about the SO9 incident. You know why?
No, I don't know why. You have to tell me, you idiot.
Well,
Hold
right.
it. But that case was solved like 2 years ago, wasn't it? That's the reason the evidence was stored in the evidence room.
Joe Dark was convicted for his crime. One thing I can say for sure is he deserved his sentence.
I remember the Joe Dark case. It involved serial murders, didn't it? I don't intend to complain about how it turned out, but there's something that still bothers me. Something went down at that trial. Something no one will talk about. What happened? I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out. Why is he so concerned with that incident? Maybe I should present him with what I think his real reason is. If I had a feeling we'd wind up here sooner or later, everyone involved here is related in some way to that case. I'd better take another look at the files.
Well, We now know why.
I'll say his brother was there, or relative or something, right?
Yep, got that.
Neil.
Neil.
What are we
The one
presenting
that-
at the last one?
The very last one.
Hold on.
I should have just scrolled the other way. Presenting the SL9 incident files.
Presenting objection. Officer Marshall, I think I understand. I think I know why you care so much about the SL9 incident. Sounds like you've been slipping too much cactus juice, partner.
It's
Slipping
the
too much cactus juice.
quenchiest!
I have the SL9 incident file here. The name Marshall is mentioned in here. In a list of murder victims. Neil Marshall, are you related to this man?
Neil Marshall.
Yeah, I'm sure you heard of the name. 2 years ago. You received the same lousy prosecutor award you get.
Oh!
What? A prosecutor? He must be talking about the King of Prosecutors Award.
Now I remember. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He handled the SL9 case before I did.
That's right, he was killed. And the case fell into your grubby hands. But what's his relation to you? He was my brother. He was investigating the murders with Damon Gann, chief detective at the time. The group of detectives I was part of worked under them. We were desperate to prosecute the killer. Joe Dark. My brother fought Dark and was killed. That was the first time Dark left behind any evidence. That was all we needed. He was arraigned and incarcerated. The case was finally closed. At least, according to the public records. What do you mean? My brother couldn't have been killed by Joe Dark. I know my brother better than anyone. No one could have beaten him in a fight.
And that's it. That's your reason for your insane actions?
There's more my brother did than what the records say. No matter how much you try to hide it, you can't fool me. Bitch.
Ooh.
Well, at least one thing's certain. Now we know what happened at the police department on the day of the crime.
That was the last day the SL9 case could be reopened. Not satisfied with its resolution, Officer Marshall planned to steal the evidence.
Disguising himself as Detective Goodman, he entered the evidence room. Officer Meekins confronted him, so he rendered him unconscious and fled.
Yes, this mystery has finally been cleared up. No murder took place at the police department that day. The things that happen by chance never cease to amaze. At exactly the same time as the murder at the prosecutor's office, this fake murder was going on at the police department.
Chance. It's gotta be more than just that. So if no one was murdered at the police department on the day of the crime, that means the murder in the prosecutor's office parking lot was the real one.
Which in turn means only one person could have committed the crime. Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye.
Objection! But wait! A verdict wasn't reached in yesterday's trial.
Objection! Which is why we examined the incident at the police department today.
But
There is only one reason the defendant was not convicted yesterday. There yet remained the mystery of the simultaneous murder at the police department.
it seems to me this boy's got the draw on you, partner.
All of the mysteries at the police department have been resolved, no doubt about it. Our sole murder took place at the prosecutor's office. The only suspect is Lana Sky. And the testimony of one Miss Angel Star is completely incontestable.
Dude, it sounds different on my end. There was no errors in the testimony of the witness, Angel Star.
Interesting.
If you have a response, make it a single word or less.
Bitch.
My word, honestly.
Ah!
That's onomatopoeia, not good enough. I rest my case.
It seems the trial has reached its conclusion. There's no room for doubt.
Well done, Mr. Wright. Thanks to you, I didn't need to waste my time disproving the alleged murder at the police department.
There's no doubt what I proved today is true. The apparent murder on the security camera's tape really was fake. But I didn't realize, that would end up proving Lana guilty. Now then, the time for the verdict has arrived. The court finds the defendant. Hold it, or whoever says that.
Hold it! Your Honor, wait.
Emma,
The defense has an objection, a scientific objection. Right?
what do you mean, right? Mr. Wright, are you this girl's guardian? Your Honor, in a sense.
Please, Your Honor, all I'm asking for is a minute of your time. Please hear me out. Mr. Edgeworth, please.
I don't want to leave any loose ends. You want a minute? I'll give you 3.
Oh.
3 minutes.
I was kind of in shock. I mean, finding out the SL9 incident referred to the Joe Dart killings.
Now that she mentions it, the names of both Sky sisters were in that file too.
But that's when I figured it out. I mean, what Officer Marshall was trying to do that day. So I knew his fingerprint had nothing to do with the crime. That left only one thing, the other handprint.
I mean the traces of blood found on Detective Gumshoe's locker.
But no fingerprints were found on it, right?
No, but I figured if I examined it scientifically, I'd sure to find a clue. So I ran over there and looked at it again.
So did you find something?
No.
Huh?
Sorry, I guess I'm not much of a scientific investigator after all.
Is that all?
Please don't be mad, I'm just a high school student.
And I'm just an attorney.
But Mr. Wright, those traces of blood are the only clue we have. If we can't find something wrong with them, please, Mr. Wright, you're a professional. If anyone can save Lana, it's you.
Me? Oh boy. Time's up. Now then, Mr. Wright. With regards to the incident at the police department, does any reasonable doubt remain?
It appears the defense is troubled by the other blood mark. Looking at the floor plans, a handprint was discovered around here. Is there a problem with this?
Mr. Wright, I'm sorry I can't be of more use, but still, if you can't find anything wrong with that blood mark, Lana will be...
Please answer my question, Mr. Wright. We don't have all day. Yes, Your Honor. If I ever needed to concentrate, it's now. What could be wrong with that handprint on Detective Gumshoe's locker? Could there be something I'm missing?
Well,
There is something missing.
so I object.
Objection! This handprint left at the crime scene clearly shows a contradiction.
The only thing that seems clear is your grasping, Mr. Wright.
Yep.
You've been staring pretty intently at those floor plans. Tell me, is there a problem with them? Yes, this is strange. And take a good look at these floor plans. Something is missing.
Missing? You mean something hasn't been drawn on there?
Yes, something that, when drawn, will completely change the meaning of the blood mark.
Oh, the badger was there.
Let us pray the defense isn't simply trying to buy time. Very well, Mr. Wright. With all this evidence here, there's got to be something I can use. The question is, which item can prove something's missing in the floor plans?
Fucking blue badger. Right?
I mean, I don't see a badger.
The badger.
Take that! What about that piece of plywood? The Blue Badger, mascot of the police force. Defender of truth, guardian of proof. Ha ha!
Explain yourself, you fucking weeb.
Please, look at these floor plans of the crime scene. The Blue Badger is not here. So watch what happens when we put him in. This is where he was dancing at the time of the crime. Well, what? Huh. That's right. So long as Blue Badger is dancing here, it would be impossible to place a handprint at this spot of the locker. What?
Yo.
What a plot twist. So that means, just exactly what does that mean?
What does it mean?
It means it can't be done. What are you saying? Blood traces were undeniably found in that locker. Don't look at me. I didn't put it there.
Mr. Wright, think it through scientifically.
Emma.
On that afternoon, Officer Meekins was the one who brought the blue badger to the evidence room, right?
Look at me!
After he put it down, it would be impossible to leave a handprint on that locker.
So that must mean this blood mark was left there before the Blue Badger was brought in. Just one moment. I will not allow such far-fetched balderdash in my courtroom. I fucking hate that word.
Valerian or Kanto?
I was wondering about that.
I like Kanto, dude. Kanto fucking rocks. I took it down to a fucking restaurant with that shit. Phenomenal.
I like
And
Galarian
it doesn't have a
far-fetched.
stupid way to evolve.
There you go. It's not Pepega, dude. It may sound far-fetched, Your Honor, but it's the only possible explanation. On February 21st, in the police department's evidence room, blood was spilled not once, but twice.
But how?
One time was captured on this tape, taken by the security camera, where the man got bopped. Officer Meekins cut his hand from which a trivial amount of blood fell. The problem is, the other time. Someone bled prior to the struggle shown on this tape. It had to have been Detective Goodman when he was really murdered.
Objection. That's ridiculous. I refuse to accept your absurd claim.
Dude, it says on my end, it says, that's ridiculous. I refute you. I was about to be like, I refute your existence. Objection. The murder portrayed in the security tape has been proven to be fake. However, that doesn't explain the blood mark found in the locker.
Objection. So then, assuming this murder you purport really happened, when did it take place? I demand you show evidence that proves when it occurred.
When did the first incident occur? To surmise, the defense claims that prior to Officer Meekins being cut by Jake Marshall, who was disguised as Detective Goodman, another incident took place in that evidence room. The blood mark on that locker proves this. Very well, then tell us. When did this first incident occur? Proof must be presented. Proof that shows when the murder took place. There's only one piece of evidence that could show that. Now then, will the defense please present its evidence? What shows when the first crime took place? It's your favorite, isn't it?
Is it the
Huh?
updated autopsy report?
It's your favorite, isn't it?
Say it is not the autopsy.
The blue badger?
Not the badger.
Uh,
Well,
uh,
I'll give you a hint.
Oh, the shoe.
Nope.
No? Fuck.
When you go into the evidence room,
Thank you, Miko. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. How you doing, my boy?
The ID card record?
I mean, when you think about it,
Because
someone had to kill Goodman in the evidence room, so
There's a bunch of sevens there.
Alright, so I'm presenting the ID card record. Bop.
Bop, take that. If the crime took place inside the evidence room, then the perpetrator would have entered the room in order to do so. An ID card is required. An ID card? Oh, the ID card record. It's always the 420, isn't it?
420 blazing.
Hold on. So I was like, hey, I'll stop by for a bit. Sorry, well, I gotta shave. Sorry, not for having the time to be here right now, but I'll be here in a bit when I'm done. Bye-bye. No worries. Thank you for being here, Mikau. I appreciate it. Thank you for the birthday wishes.
Ooh, woo.
Officer Meekins brought the blue badger panel into the evidence room at, let's see here, 4:50. If the crime took place before that, then it would be 4:40 p.m. 4:40 p.m. Ah. Miles Edgeworth.
Oh no!
Just what have you done?
Man Ray.
I never figured you had nerve, boy.
drop the act, witness. It doesn't take a lot of thought to figure out it couldn't have been me.
No buying getting it.
Well, you're a goddamn idiot.
I'm afraid I don't understand either.
It's clear from the luminal test that blood was there. However, when the second crime took place, both Officer Rock Leakins and Officer Marshall failed to notice the blood.
Hey, Rock Leakins?
He kinda looks like Rock Lee. Don't tell me you can't unsee that.
That's true.
I guess a little bit.
That means the blood from the first crime was wiped away. By the way, by the real murderer.
I would have had just 10 minutes to murder the victim, carry his body away, and clean up the blood. Unfortunately, that's physically impossible.
Unfortunately, as if he wishes he was the murderer.
That would
Look,
mean
I'm not gonna get tried twice.
the crime must have taken place before Mr. Edward entered the evidence room. Let's look at this chart again.
Look at this chart again.
There's only one card remaining, number 77777777.
7777777.
7.
Talk about a lucky number. But wait, there's more. This doesn't make sense. How could Officer Goodman have entered the evidence room? Since there's no record of his card being used beforehand, he must have entered along with the real murderer. That's the only plausible explanation. He went in with 77777777. Mr. Edwards, please look into this ASAP. Find out who ID number is 7777777777.
That's 17 too many, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I'm unable to look up the owner of that ID card. At least at present.
What?
Nani?
Explain yourself, son.
The ID number 77777777 belongs to someone with the rank of captain or higher.
Ooh.
someone who is a so-called executive officer.
Ooh.
We don't have the authority to inquire into such a person's identity.
Objection. Huh? No.
What?
Alright, that's alright. But that's ridiculous. Just how?
Not finished, Kanye. Let me. Not finished talking, Mr. Wright. There is one situation in which we can be granted such authority.
If an official charge filed against an executive is accepted, an official charge, you're all alike, aren't you? With your cover-ups and your forgeries, that's how the prosecutor office operates. You ain't wrong.
Objection. I take pride in my work, Officer Marshall. I would appreciate it if you would keep your slander to yourself.
Slander, is it? Okay. Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
No, not to you, to her, the defendant sitting over there.
Ooh.
Your own little executive. Lana?
Objection. Don't be stupid. She's been charged with murder. Of course, we've looked up her ID number, and it's not 7777777.
Don't play me for a fool, partner. That's not what I want to ask. All I want to know is one thing only about that incident. The SL9 incident? Answer me this, Chief Prosecutor. In that trial 2 years ago, did you really only use legitimate evidence?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Do you need the witness to repeat this question, Chief Prosecutor?
I heard him fine, Mr. Edgeworth.
2 years ago, I was in charge of the prosecution for that trial. At the time, we...
Occasionally, we felt the powerlessness of the law. At least, I did. Lana! I became a prosecutor in order to suppress crime with the law. But before I realized it, we were the ones being suppressed by law.
Offended. Just what are you saying? I ask you again, Chief Prosecutor. During that trial 2 years ago, did you really present all the evidence in court? Can you look me, an investigator in the crime, in the eye and say that you did? Chief Prosecutor, you didn't.
I don't have to, Officer Marshall.
Why won't you answer him?
Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is.
That's just the way it is. Sorry.
We did what we had to in order for him to get the verdict he deserved. But Lana, even if it involved forging evidence.
Of course not.
Updated autopsy report.
It's worth.
Look at me like
See?
that.
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
No. No!
No.
Order! 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 I'm thinking about Linus' chaos in the courtroom could not be quelled. The conclusion of the trial would have to wait until the following day.
You know what else is gonna have to wait till the following day? This case.
Bre.
Bruh. We're gonna save it to progress. And we're gonna come back to this later. Because I'm tired.
You're tired.
Yeah. We're gonna do tomorrow, we can start earlier tomorrow, because I can. You guys wanna do like 5?
I'm not doing anything, so sure.
Cool with you, Vero?
Yeah, I'll take it.
Okay.
I take it. We take those.
Okay, tomorrow, 5 p.m., we will continue this trial and hopefully finish it. This is going to YouTube, so if you're watching this on YouTube, please feel free to subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. And go check out TFUAHStrikes channel for objection.lol videos. You should also go check out KidVillero's stream. It's his birthday at the time of recording, so everybody go in his chat and wish him a happy birthday.
I hope I get these like a week later, dude.
Yeah. Let's hope you get it a week later. Announcement type things. Saturday, I'm doing an Instagram live at 3 o'clock. Send me requests for music. Saturday, I'm actually going to be performing for a Discord con called PearlCon, which is interesting. So I'll have more details about that. I have one viewer in the chat, but I'm going to drop this anyway. If you are not already, please consider joining my Discord server. I put my updates stuff in there pretty regularly, along with memes and things. It's a chill time. And if you're not following, consider following and or subscribing. It is September right now, which I guess means that subscriptions are cheaper or something. So
Off, I believe.
yeah, so consider subscribing because it's cheap right now. And it gets
Only
money.
on PC, not on mobile.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, if you want to get the deal on the September, watch me on the PC, not the mobile, because it doesn't give you the discount on mobile. Thank you for letting me know about that, because I didn't know that was a thing. Yeah. That's it. You guys have anything you want to say?
Is the water bottle dropped yet?
The water bottle hits the ground!
There we go. Thank you.
You're very
That's what I
welcome.
was missing.
I was hoping it would, like, actually accidentally happen, and then it didn't because I was thinking about it.
I shouldn't have said anything. It should have happened naturally.
That's okay. For those of you that don't know, it's a running joke on my channel that I constantly drop my drinks.
And it's very entertaining.
Yeah, people are entertained
said.
by me being clumsy. Yeah, okay, that's it. I'm gonna go put on my ending screen, and then we can go raid KidVillero, because you're still gonna be streaming for a little bit, yeah?
Nope, I'm out.
Oh, you're out? Okay. Then I'm going to throw up my stream ending screen and see if any of my friends are streaming. So, peace out, guys. Stream ending.
I could keep going, but we're at 9 hours and 40 minutes. I'm not.